All right, so once again, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here today. On behalf of the County of Middlesex, I'm John Carroll, Director of Public and Government Affairs. I want to thank everybody for being here today for our press announcement in partnership with stray kick, I think, in partnership with the New Jersey Department of Transportation, the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority, as well as Middlesex County's Department of Transportation, and of course our Board of County Commissioners. Again, appreciate everybody taking the time to be here. As we know, last year the county announced the Southern Middlesex County Freight Movement Study to identify strategies to safely manage truck traffic while balancing the needs of all users of our roadways. With its proximity to the New Jersey Turnpike Interchange 8A, rail lines, and availability of land for development, Southern Middlesex County has long been a locally, regionally, and nationally recognized freight and logistics hub. The southern part of the county is also home to rapidly growing lower density residential areas, larger older adult communities, town centers, preserved farms, and of course open space. Through research and input from municipalities, residents, and community groups, we are so pleased to be here today to be able to share some news about the study. Of course, none of this would be possible without some great partners from across all levels of government. I want to recognize some of our folks who are here with us today, who will be speaking in just a couple of moments as well. Of course, from the Department of Transportation and recently announced as the Governor's Chief of Staff, Diane Gutierrez-Scachetti, thank you for being here, as well as NJTPA Executive Director David Barrett, Mayor Stephen DeLina from from Monroe Township, as well as Senator Linda Greenstein from the 14th Legislative District. And of course, from the County Commissioner Board, we have County Commissioner Charles Kenny, Chair of our Transportation Department, and of course, our County Commissioner Director, Ron Rios. Without the support of the County Commissioner Board, studies and the things that we're here to do today would not be possible, so certainly appreciate their support. With that, I'd like to invite Commissioner Director Ron Rios to the podium.
Together with our partners at the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority and the New Jersey Department of Transportation, we kicked off this study in the spring of 2022 with the goal of assessing truck traffic in the southern portion of Middlesex County, particularly the impact of truck traffic on local roads, neighborhoods, and our residents' safety and quality of life. The study also considered a variety of ways in which we might address truck traffic and mitigate its effects. The results is a comprehensive analysis of these issues that considers the needs of all involved, residents, businesses, and anyone who travels through Middlesex County, as well as key recommendations for moving forward in both the short and the long term. Among the study's primary recommendations is the designation of new preferred routes for trucks that will, whenever possible, limit their time on local roadways and in residential neighborhoods. We expect that this will make a big difference for our residents in terms of traffic, noise, and safety. And so, in collaboration with our partner, municipalities, and other government agencies, we will immediately move forward with several of the study's key recommendations, most notably, working with local warehouse operators to prioritize routes which keep trucks out of local neighborhoods. Install signage directing trucks to use designated truck routes rather than traveling through residential neighborhoods. Applying to the New Jersey DOT for truck restrictions on key local roadways. Pursuing long-term infrastructure improvements such as reconfiguring roadway lanes and intersections to improve safety. As we proceed with these projects, we will continue to evaluate their impact and consider the study's recommendations for larger infrastructure projects in the long term. Above all, in reviewing the results of this study and its recommendations, one thing is abundantly clear. Truck traffic is a regional issue, and it must be addressed as such. We must work together at all levels of government with our partners in the private sector to mitigate the impact of truck traffic on our local roads, neighborhoods, and most importantly, our residents, while also ensuring that businesses can operate in a safe and efficient manner. This study itself is an example of that type of collaboration. It would not have been possible without the support of our partners at the state and local levels and considerable input from the public. I want to especially recognize NJTPA Executive Director David Beverand and New Jersey DOT Commissioner Gutierrez Scachetti. Thank you to both of you for your leadership and to everyone on your teams who worked on this study. From the 14th Legislative District, Senator Greenstein, Assemblyman Benson, and Assemblyman D'Angelo, and from the 16th Legislative District, Senators Wicker, Assemblyman Fryman, and Assemblywoman Jaffer. And at the local level, of course, Mayor Dolina, Cranberry Mayor Ferrante, South Brunswick Mayor Carley, and Jamesburg Mayor Lawand, as well as all of our municipalities and residents in the southern portion of the county. Your contributions and willingness to collaborate and share input were invaluable. And on behalf of the entire Board of County Commissioners, I thank you for your time and efforts in helping us complete this study. And of course, a special thank you to my colleague, Commissioner Kenny, Chair of our County Transportation Committee, and his team at the Department of Transportation for all of their work with this study, and to Commissioner Koppel, who, on behalf of our residents in this area of the county, has also been a dedicated advocate of this much-needed work. As I mentioned in my stated county remarks earlier this year, the Board of County Commissioners is committed to protecting and improving the quality of life of every resident in Middlesex County, while also supporting business community and maintaining our robust economy. We look forward to continue working together with our partners at every level of the public and private sectors to implement the recommendations of the Southern Middlesex County Freight Movement Study. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Director Rios. And before we move on to our next speaker, I would also like to acknowledge our Middlesex County Improvement Authority Executive Director Jim Polos. Jim, thank you and your team for your hospitality today in hosting us. With that said, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Commissioner of the New Jersey Department of Transportation and Chief of Staff to the Governor, Diane Gutierrez Scachetti. Thank you, Commissioner.
Good morning. It's so nice to be here this morning with both our local and our county and our state officials to talk about what is a very important topic. It is how this state builds its economy and how it balances that against the safety of our communities and the quality of life of our residents. It's not hard to look where we're seated right now to look out and understand the impact of truck traffic in this region of the state. But we also recognize that New Jersey is national economic competitive, and excellent quality of life for all 9 million residents is made possible by a strong economy that is driven by a strong freight distribution system. Having said that, it is important that we also recognize the importance of balancing that strong economy and freight system in such a way as to provide a strong quality of life for those who live, work, and play in these communities. It takes a lot of planning and collaboration to support New Jersey manufacturing firms, businesses, and all of our road users, our school buses, our families, going to soccer games and going to events, that they live in a way that is safe in their communities, especially around schools, but certainly also allows for the strong tax basis that these warehouses bring to us and make New Jersey more livable for all of us. With the announcement that Middlesex has completed its own freight movement study for the southern section of the county, it sets the stage for both DOT and NJTPA to work together to find good short and long-term fixes for the freight traffic that we have in this area. NJDOT is investigating both short-term and long-term commitments that will go a long way in supporting the county's efforts for the safe and efficient movement of freight. On a short-term basis, NJDOT has recommended several improvements along Route 130 corridor, including eliminating left turns at intersection of North Main Street. Left turns can be accommodated at Cranberry Half-Acre Road. In addition, the department has recommended restriping Route 130 at South River Road to better direct right turn traffic. These 2 improvements will be done in the next several months. In addition, we will work on improving signage to make sure that trucks can be properly directed to truck routes that already exist. And we will certainly support Director Rios's efforts to talk to our private sector partners to get them to also encourage their vehicles to follow those truck signs and not take what I will call shortcuts because they think they're more efficient. This is where efficiency is not necessarily the goal. Safety is always the primary goal. On a long-term basis, we have a project in design that will convert the traffic circle at Route 130 and County Road 539 South Main Street into a 4-legged signalized intersection. The project is in preliminary engineering and is currently scheduled to go to construction in the next few years. The department also has a project in final design that will make safety improvements on Route 130 intersection of County Road 679 and Georges Road and Wheeling Road. Currently, NJDOT's Office of Freight Planning is examining the feasibility of furthering a project at Route 32 and County Road 535 to help reduce congestion. In 2024, the Office of Freight Planning will also conduct a statewide analysis of truck parking facilities and amenities to ensure people who deliver goods that underpin our everyday lives are able to do so safely and outside of our communities. Middlesex County is always encouraged to apply for local freight impact fund grants from NJDOT. Applications are now being accepted through December 13th. These grants allow the communities and the county to make improvements on the county road network that don't require DOT input. And so we hope that the county will, from this report, be able to take advantage of those funds. We are always excited to partner with Middlesex County, whether it is working on the North Brunswick Rail Station, and I want to thank Executive Director from MCIA, who is here with us. First ever time that New Jersey Transit has let go of a train station to be designed, but what an important piece of work that is, and how important it is for us to trust our partners to help us build out important public transit infrastructure, whether it's working with the county in New Brunswick to improve and build through the hub, which is very important, or whether it's being right here where truck traffic has impacted communities and schools in such a way that has become disruptive. We want to be your partner. We'll continue to be your partner. Even when I am not the DOT commissioner anymore and chief of staff, one thing I can promise you, I will always have one eye on transportation. It is what I've done my whole career, and I truly believe is the underpinning of a strong quality of life for all New Jerseyans. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you once again, Commissioner. Appreciate that. At this time, I would also like to recognize who's been a vital partner throughout this process, from the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority, Executive Director David Barron. Dave. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Good morning, everybody, on this beautiful day. I'd like to thank the county and the commissioners for hosting this event. It's, as everybody said, it's really good to see state, county, local, and in our case, regional folks here today working together to make travel safer and more efficient for all road users. Now, so a lot of people aren't that familiar with the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority, NJTPA for short, so just real quickly, we're the metropolitan planning organization for 13 counties in northern and central New Jersey, including, of course, Middlesex County. And on that note in particular, I'd like to acknowledge that 2 of our board members are here today, Commissioner Gutierrez-Scacchetti and Middlesex County Commissioner Charlie Kenny, who does represent the county on the board. And Commissioner Kenny is currently the second vice chair of our board and the chair of our Planning and Economic Development Committee. And I can assure the residents and officials in Middlesex County that you have a strong advocate for smart planning and for advancing transportation projects on the board of the NJTPA. One of the things the NJTPA focuses on is putting federal dollars to work at the county and local level to help communities plan transportation improvements that support the vision of our long-range transportation plan. And one of our main goals of that plan is to create a safer transportation system, but one that also supports robust economic activity and helps people and goods get to where they need to go. Now, Middlesex County applied to our Subregional Studies program to fund this study, the Southern Middlesex County Freight Movement Study. And it's really very, very encouraging to see that with the study just completed, the county's already working with NJDOT and municipal officials and local businesses to advance those study recommendations. This does not always happen this quickly with these planning studies. So this is exciting, and it speaks very highly of the study that the county has done and the reception that it's got from various parties. I do want to note that this is not the only work that the NJTPA has funded recently in the county. We also funded planning options for improving the Old Bridge Matawan Road Bridge, and that's in Old Bridge. And that study recommended replacing the bridge, adding bike and pedestrian shared use paths. I mean, again, working to serve all users. That project is in engineering. It'll eventually be built all with federal dollars. We've also approved federal dollars for various safety improvements in the county over the years. Currently, one in Perth Amboy and another in Piscataway. And as far as sub-regional studies like this one, the county next year is going to be conducting road safety audits at various locations where there are known safety issues. So those are just a few examples of federal funds at work. Again, to come back to what we're doing here today, our plan looks to balance robust economic activity, quality of life, safety, and an efficient transportation system. And this is a great example of how that's done, and it does require coordination at multiple levels with all parties. So we certainly look forward to all that continued collaboration on freight issues, on those other projects I mentioned, and other things that we'll be identifying in the future. So thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thank you, Dave. I really appreciate that. Now, again, at this point in time, would like to invite our County Commissioner and Chair of our Transportation Committee, Charlie Kenny, to the podium.
Thank you very much, John. I actually thought I was in a different spot, so I wasn't prepared. Good morning, everybody. I'm happy to be here to join all of you today as we share the results of the Southern Middlesex County Freight Movement. As Chair of the County Transportation Committee and Vice Chair of the Executive Committee of the NJTPA Board of Trustees, as well as a member of the NJTPA's Freight Initiatives Committee. This study has been a major focus for me over the last 18 months. There are a couple of reasons for that. For one thing, a study like this is a pretty big undertaking, and no pun intended, there are many moving parts and many stakeholders involved, and it's great to see everybody here today to make this announcement. And second, most important, because there's more than anything, this study is about safety and the well-being of our residents. Middlesex County's prime location, so close to both New York City and Philadelphia, with access to so many major highways and byways, can be a double-edged sword. And if I could add also in there, the Port of Newark, which battles for the number one position as the number one port here in the U.S. With ships and companies being redirected to Newark because of their efficiency for the work that they do. Can be a bit of a double-edged sword, as it is convenient not only for residents, but for businesses as well. The many warehouses here in the southern portion of the county are proof of that. And while we are happy to offer a welcoming and supportive environment for businesses, we are also incredibly proud that Middlesex County is such a wonderful place to live. Finding and maintaining a balance between both is critical for us, because it is more important for Middlesex County to be a business-friendly county, just not at the expense of our residents' safety and well-being. In his 2022 State of the County address, our County Commissioner Director Ron Rios announced that the County Department of Transportation would launch a Vision Zero as part of the County Destination 2040 strategic plan. Vision Zero is a strategic plan to eliminate traffic fatalities and severe injuries among all road users and to ensure safe and equitable mobility for all. And our planning and engineering and our county staff has done such a great job that the State Complete Street Advisory Committee is awarding them for their Vision Zero action plan a Complete Streets and Excellence Award in November. These goals align perfectly with the goals of the Southern Middlesex County Freight Movement Study. Along with my colleague, Deputy Director Santinara, I serve as co-chair of the Vision Zero Working Group. I know I speak for the both of us, as well as as everyone else who is part of that group and who supports the Vision Zero initiative when I say how proud we are that Middlesex County has the distinction of being the first Vision Zero county here in the state of New Jersey. We are committed to improving the safety and well-being of our residents and anyone who travels in or around Middlesex County. That means safer roads, not just for our drivers and their passengers, but for everyone who uses our roads and sidewalks. Implementing many of the freight movement studies recommendations will go a long way towards improving their safety by limiting truck traffic on local roads and in local neighborhoods, without forcing truck drivers and businesses to sacrifice efficiency. Throughout the course of this study, I've seen firsthand how invested our local mayors, state legislature, and especially our residents are in finding equitable solutions to these issues. I want to reiterate what Commissioner Director Rios said. Everyone who helped support the study and who shared their input, your contributions were vital and will be just as important moving forward as we begin to implement some of the recommendations from the study. I especially want to thank my colleagues at the NJTPA and the Middlesex County Department of Transportation, especially our Office of Planning. This study started under our past Department of Transportation Director, Solomon Cavanis, and continued under Khalid Anjum to get us here today. So I want to thank them very much for getting this effort going and completing this process. You've been a pleasure to work with every step of the way, and I look forward to continuing to work to implement the short and long-term solutions recommended in the study. And I thank you all very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Kenny. And our final speaker, as Commissioner Kenny mentioned, much of this was made possible with the support and cooperation of the local mayors here. And I want to recognize for our last speaker, Monroe Mayor Stephen Delina.
The last speaker. We've got there. First and foremost, good morning, everyone. It is truly an honor and a privilege to provide some brief remarks in regards to the traffic study at this point. I've had the opportunity to study the recommendations of this report, and I am pleased to see there are some immediate actions that can be taken, as well as longer range recommendations to provide significant relief to Monroe residents. Today, I would like to express my deepest appreciation to our representatives, the county and the state, including our NJDOT Commissioner Diane Gutierrez-Scacchetti, our County Commissioner Director Ron Rios, for advancing this study forward. Together, I know we share a commitment in ensuring this planning report becomes an actionable document. The release of this report is a pivotal moment in our ongoing efforts to manage truck traffic, and I believe the partnership you see here today will get the relief for the residents. I would like to also express my appreciation to those Monroe residents who participated in the public engagement phase of this study, such as serving on a technical advisory committee that helped provide vital direction to the researchers. Hundreds of township residents attended community workshops and stakeholder meetings, participated in a survey, and provided nearly 1,000 comments and over 350 specific recommendations for the project and actions. As I previously said, we are not interested in just passing the nuisance traffic to our neighboring towns. We need a holistic regional solution in which all of our neighboring municipalities are working collaboratively to remove these trucks from our residential neighborhoods. It looks like we are well on our way. To close, allow me to underscore the superb working relationship that has been developed between the state, NJTPA, Middlesex County, and our local communities, including Monroe Township. Together, we are fully invested in advancing a regional solution to ensure our neighborhood roads are safe for our residents. Thank you so much. And it wasn't a kick, it was a kick save.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you very much, Mayor. And again, just want to thank everybody for being here today. We're very excited to move this forward. And again, as has been underscored by all the speakers, it's really about partnerships. And here in Middlesex County, we really do prioritize trying to work across all levels of government for partnerships, ultimately for the betterment of our shared residents. So thank you for all being here. Have a wonderful day.